Hey, it's Sterling K. Brown from the Hulu original series Paradise. The next chapter begins as Xavier's search for his wife takes him above ground, and what he finds will change everything. It was never just about the bunker. Tune in and discover the truth lies outside. Paradise, the official podcast, is now streaming, and stream Paradise on Hulu and Hulu on Disney+.
Well, the holidays have come and gone once again, but if you've forgotten to get that special someone in your life a gift, well, Mint Mobile is extending their holiday offer of half off unlimited wireless. So here's the idea. You get it now, you call it an early present for next year. What do you have to lose? Give it a try at mintmobile.com/switch.
Limited time 50% off regular price for new customers. Upfront payment required. $45 for 3 months, $90 for 6 months, or $180 for 12-month plan. Taxes and fees extra. Speeds may slow after 50 gigabytes per month when network is busy. See terms.
Hello and welcome to a brand new episode of Don't Blame Me. My name is Megan.
My name's Melissa.
And together, we're a menace and a half.
Good.
Tasty. What's the finger licking good one?
Finger looking good is KFC.
KFC.
Good is Campbell's.
Is it finger licking good?
To be honest, when I was in high school, we could leave. At senior year, we could leave to go for lunch. And there's a KFC behind my school, and I would drive over there, and they had like a kids menu where you would get like 3 chicken strips, a mashed potato, applesauce, and a fruit roll-up and a drink for like $3. And in that case, yes, it was. I think they call it a laptop pack or something because it was like in the shape of a laptop.
Oh, cute.
And then everything was in it.
I just think that like on paper, what they serve is fucking great. Like I just think that like more fast food restaurants should have I should be able just to like go through a drive-through window and get mashed potatoes and gravy. Like that's fire to me. Like I'm like that is delicious. I don't need actually I do need onion rings. But like there are other things that I'm like I don't need this, but like you know what I always eat more of? Mashed potatoes. I think they should be a year-round food.
I eat mashed. You don't eat mashed potatoes
No,
year-round?
I do eat mashed potatoes year-round, but like a lot of people think of mashed potatoes as exclusively a like Thanksgiving and Christmas kind of dish. I mean, Mons doesn't like mashed potatoes, so maybe that's why he thinks of it as exclusively those holiday dishes.
Okay.
But no, like growing up, like that was like only a thing.
Oh, we were eating mashed potatoes all the time.
Yeah,
Sunday
they're
dinner.
Good. That's what I think. I'm like, that's what I'm here for that.
But they're instant mashed potatoes. But they're still, for what they are, they're good. I haven't had it in years. From what I remember, it was good.
Well, let's keep it with a fond memory. And we can align with KFC. And we are also finger licking good. So this is a podcast where we give you wonderful, amazing, life-changing advice. And if you want to call to participate in an upcoming episode, you can leave us a voicemail at 310-694-0976. International listeners, you can send us an audio message at meghanpodcast@gmail.com, or you can send us a DM, or you can email us, type it out to that same email address. So for the voice call and the voice memo, you have 3 minutes. And for the written version, DM as well as email, 300 words. So you'll have to remember like 3, you know? The 3 is the through line. And you need to be 18 or over, have your parents' permission. You can let us know your pronouns if you would like, but we do ask and we require that you let us know how old you are because it is very helpful. And if it's about a relationship, how long you've been together, as many details as possible. And the best way to do that is to write everything down and read it out loud, time it out, practice a few times, and then just read it on the call. Make sure that you can sit on it for a day or so to like make sure you have all of the like as much information because we can only go off of what we have. And if we have to like, patch it up or like infer some things, we might infer wrong. And then it might be like, well, this was a waste. And we don't want it to be like, we actually want to help you. And let us know if you're sensitive because we will take that into account despite people just thinking we're ruthlessly mean.
Some people, I want them to think that.
Well, some people deserve that.
Mm-hmm.
You'll notice that those are not the people who ever say like, please be nice. Or no, those are never the people who are saying like, if I'm in the wrong, like I can take it. And like that, those are the calls where it's like, hey, someone ran me over with their car and then like told me I was ugly. Like, you can tell me if I was being a bitch, I can take it. And I'm like, what? In what world did you record this and hear what you said that you went through, that you thought that you could be the villain of this story? It's not.
No. Well, today we have an update.
A very exciting update for us personally.
Yeah. So open your ear holes and listen.
So take it away whenever you're ready.
Okay, so hello. I am from the call. I think it was titled I'm Forgettable, but it was the one about my friend thinks I'm going to hell because I'm bisexual. So long story short, we're no longer friends, but we still do work together. And so like, I want to say the first week of December is like when I get to switch campuses and not have to be around her anymore, thankfully. But we did have a conversation over text message, which wasn't my favorite, because the whole thing is I was never scared of like confronting her, because at the point to where she like said what she said, I was like, okay, fuck you, you're homophobic, I don't want to be your friend anymore. But I was scared because the job that we work, it's like, it's childcare, but it's at a church. And so we just know how churches can be with like just gay people in general. So I was like, in the grand scheme of things, I don't want her to like get mad at me, because I've never like seen her like angry or like vindictive. So I was like, she could be like, oh, you're gay, I'm going to get you fired from our job. And the only reason I have this job that we work together is because it's like flexible enough to where I can like call out and like do all these things, and like it's not super strict. Because the full-time job that I have is also homophobic. And I literally signed, like there's like a contract that make you sign like a sexual health policy thing. It's really bad because they like rope it into a sense of like, oh, we're just trying to make sure like you're keeping yourself like pure and good or whatever. So they include like, you can't have sex before marriage, you can't do this and you can't do that. Yeah. And this is common because the college I went to did the same exact thing. So this is like a thing that I'm used to in the circles that I'm in. So, and the thing is, I don't hate my job because I get to work with kids, and I love the kids that I get to work with because I get to work with middle schoolers. I myself, I don't consider myself like religious anymore. I feel like I'm really attuned to like what Melissa says, like I'm just vibing, you know, I'm just here. And so, because it's not like I'm dating anybody, but like me being gay is a factor that like could get me fired. So I'm like, if, what I name her, London, I was like, if London gets mad at me, then she could be like, oh, I'm going to tell our boss, I'm going to tell your boss, I'm going to get you fired. Not that I think she would, but I was like, I need to tell this son because I'm broke and I need this money. So I was like waiting.
And taking their money is great.
Yeah, it's great to take their money.
It's not a lot at all. Like I need a better job, but you know, we're here for now. So I was like waiting. And I also hadn't talked to May yet, because what I didn't include is that May doesn't live in the same city that me and London do. So if I had the conversation with May, it would have been like over FaceTime, which it was. It didn't go super great. So I called her after we had been paying phone tax for like 2 weeks, and she was like in the mall when I called her, and I was like, well, I can't like drop this news to her in the mall, because I wanted to text her before and be like, hey, I want to talk to you to catch up, but like this is kind of more serious, but I have anxiety. I know she has anxiety, and I didn't want to like send her that text message and she like be at work or like somewhere where she couldn't like process this safely. So we were on the phone to the mall. She left the mall, went to the grocery store, left the grocery store, went home to cook. And so I had like a little bit of time to tell her. So I just like dropped the bomb. And I just like saw like her, she like went through the same motions that I did whenever I heard it. She was like, well, I thought she would feel different because of like my girlfriend. I was like, yeah. She's like, I thought she would like, she supported it because of this. I was like, I thought the same thing. And we just like kind of went back and forth a little bit. And then like the conversation like ended abruptly because like her girlfriend called her, and like we just never talked about it again, which it didn't really matter for me what she did. I just didn't want to put her in like a compromising position because like we were close friends, like all three of us. So it's like, I don't want to wreck our friendship and make it like harder for May and London to like be friends. So I told her, and then after that I was like, okay, well, one, I need to switch campuses, because the good thing with the job that I work with London is that I can like switch locations because there's one closer to my apartment. But I didn't want to do that because personally I was like, well, you're the homophobic one. Like you're the one that like wrecked our friendship. I don't want to have to move because I like my coworkers. Like I like the kids that we work with. But I was like, I can't be here anymore. And so that's kind of like the point that we're at right now. I saw her last night, actually. It's a lot of tension because I don't think she's like fully taken responsibility for what she did. Because the text conversation basically was her texting me because May was coming into town. She came like last weekend. And usually if she came to town, we would all three hang out together. But the fact that London and I aren't friends anymore like throws a wrench in that, but we still hadn't had a conversation. And so she texted me and she was like, I feel like there's like tension between us and like we need to talk about it instead of just like ignoring each other. And I was like, yeah, there is tension. Yeah, we probably should have talked sooner or later. But I was like, at the end of the day, I don't think I want to continue this friendship, which is like the boldest thing that I've ever said to anybody because I'm a very shy little girl. And she's like, oh, I understand. I just want what's the best for you. I'm like, you can't act like all nice and high and mighty right now. Cause I'm like, at some point, like, you know what you did. Cause she was even, whenever I saw her at work, she'd be like, I just don't feel like you don't like me anymore. Like, I don't really feel like we're friends anymore. I was like, oh my gosh, why do you feel like that? She was just like, she's like, I don't know. We don't hang out as much. I'm like, oh, I'm sorry. I'll be better. Which is like a full lie because fuck you, you're homophobic.
You're going to hell anyway, so what does it matter?
What does it matter? We're not going to end up in the same place. So I don't think you really care about me.
Can't write you a postcard, bitch.
Sorry. It'll burn before I get there. Sorry.
Yep.
And so like she said that. And then like we went back and forth. And I basically said, I was like, at the end of the day, I think we have different thoughts when it comes to my sexuality. And I don't think we can be friends anymore. And she was like, okay, I'm not going to lie. I don't know like where you're coming from with that. Like I've never said anything bad about your sexuality or anybody else's, which is a lie, mind you, because when we talk about celebrities who like transition or anything like that, she's always just very, she knows what she's doing. And so I'm really proud of myself here. I feel like I cleared her. Maybe it's not that good of a response. I think it was great. But she was like, I don't think I've ever said anything. And I was like, consciously, no, you haven't said anything. But I was like, when you were on Laughing Gas and when I took care of you, you said this. And I was sure to not include May in that conversation because I didn't know like what they were doing. I didn't want to like mix up anything between the two of them. But I was like, you said this, it hurt me. And I was like, I was using this time of us not talking to like evaluate what I wanted to do, which is a lie. I just said that to make her feel like a little bit better. But I was like, whether this is like a conscious thought that you have in your head, like you still believe, or like you used to believe this and don't anymore. I was like, either way, I can't be your friend anymore. And I just like left it at that. And she was like, okay, well, like maybe we'll talk and that might help. But like, I just want what's best for you. So I have left it at that. And now we just passively see each other at our jobs, which is not fun because it's kind of close quarters. But she acts polite, I act polite, and I just do what I have to do to get my paycheck until I can move campuses.
Yeah. Good.
Yeah.
Does people normally say things on Laughing Gas?
I don't think homophobic things. I think silly, funny things.
No, because I think that like, I'm trying to remember because when I got my wisdom teeth out, like I was like, I was more under, like IV kind of under. And so that's one where like, yeah, you don't remember. But like Laughing Gas, like, she should, I don't know that you don't remember what you say. And so like her whole playing dumb, I also really don't like that. I want what's best for you because I'm like, the thinly veiled to me is like, I just don't want you to be gay. I just want you to not go to hell. And it's like, fuck off. Yeah. Like, you know what you're like, you're not that dumb.
And this whole time she never apologized. And that's how I know that she, because number one, she never apologized. And number two, because like this conversation was happening through text message. And I found out later, I'm like 90% sure that while she was having this conversation with me, she was hanging out with May in person because like the timelines of like her being here like line up. And I know that she knows she was wrong because it was like 5 to 10 minutes between like our replies before I told her like exactly why I didn't want to be her friend anymore. And then she didn't reply for hours. So I'm like, you know, you fucked up. You know, like you can't, number one, you can't talk yourself out of this because you still believe this way. And like you have nothing to say. And so, you know, it's her loss.
Yeah,
it is.
Totally is her loss.
Yeah.
And I'm proud of you for standing up for yourself.
My therapist was proud of me. I was very proud of myself. So I appreciate that. And I will say the like calling in really helped because a lot of like things that I didn't even think of about like just feeling bad for like not recognizing the warning signs earlier and also just like letting myself be so comfortable around her. But I was also like, this was my friend. Like she just bamboozled me into thinking that she was like a different person, which is not my fault.
Yeah, we don't assume the worst about friends. Like that's like, you will naturally give people the benefit of the doubt that you're friends with, like not consciously, because it's like, well, of course, like they become safe people. Yeah. Like it's just like, you wouldn't even think of that. I don't know if I said this in the original call, but I just looked it up to see if she does. Did I mention anything about Andrea Russett and Sandra in that one?
Yes.
Okay. Because I was going to say, I looked it up and Andrea has almost a 30-minute video talking about like all of it.
Mm-hmm.
And it very like matches very similar in the sense that like Sandra won't even apologize because in her belief system, she's like, no, if I apologize, then then I'm taking back what I truly believe. And it's like the most condescending. And I didn't grow up with this kind of religion aspects at all, but she does talk about in like the frustrating sense of like this holier than now person who's just like trying to like be like, oh, like this, like, no, I just want what's best. I just want all of these things. And where it's like I'm not even fighting with someone or having a conversation with someone who is like a human. Like they're treating me like they are this entity that is so fucking above me, that is like so belittling and patronizing. So I would recommend that video, and I fucking hate people like this.
Yeah. And the thing is, like, this situation just shown me like this is probably what's gonna happen once I like quit my job and like be like out in public. Because the thing is, I have like a great support system of friends who like love me and like care about me and all that stuff. But also so many people in my life right now who are like, I love you, I will do anything for you. Like, I know like whenever I do like come out publicly and be like, oh my gosh, I don't support this, like I love you, but like I can't be around you anymore. I'm just like, this is just the beginning of like a long trend of things. And I just hate that she was the first one. Because the thing is, I wish I hated her, and like part of me does because she's horrible. But I'm also like, she's so kind of funny sometimes. And I think I would feel differently if I didn't have to see her all the time. It's just not fun. But that's what you get whenever you're homophobic. Because now all her friends are going to be boring.
Yeah.
You know?
It's very true.
It's scientifical.
Like if she does like tell like you're something like that and like you don't have another job lined up, you also can just lie and be like, I have no idea what you're talking about. Like,
and like, I never really thought she would do something like that. But I was like, who knows? And I thought it might happen in a sense of like, people notice that we're not as like friendshipy as we used to be, and then they'd be like, oh my gosh, what happened? And she can't,
that would play into it.
She can't hold water if she tried. Like she will tell everything. Which there was one time I was hanging out with her. I hit a gate at her apartment. This is part of the reason why my car was fucked up for like so many months. And she told,
you hit a gate?
I hit a gate. A gate, like one of those automatic gates. The gate hit me. And this should have been my first red flag, is because I was embarrassed. I didn't want anyone to know. She was showing people the videos. She was showing people pictures. She was telling the story the whole time. And I was like, this is not your story to tell, even if you weren't in the car. And that should have been my first red flag, that she doesn't care about anything. So bye London. So sorry. Actually, I'm not sorry, but
no, it sucks when like people like that you like for better, like they're like they have traits, whether they're funny or like they're fun to hang out with or whatever, that like I think are harder traits to have. It's a lot easier to just like not be homophobic and like, but it's a lot harder to have a sense of humor. And it's like, if you have all of these other things that you check off, and then I'm like, you're gonna go down by being just like a bigot, like that's gonna be what takes you down. Like, God, like you have the cards to not be this. Like, you could be very cool and awesome. And so like mourning those kinds of friendships is like, wow, that sucks that like that is the hill that you are willing to die on. That like that's the belief that you're gonna hold on to. Like, fuck.
And so many of her other friends are gay too, which I'm like, how can you be surrounded by so many gay people and still be homophobic? So part of me thinks that she's gay, she doesn't want to accept it, but I'm not gonna be here for your journey because you dug your grave, so now you have to go lay in it. Sorry, not sorry.
I thought that the whole time.
Yeah.
Yes, we said it offline. As soon as we stopped, we were like, that girl, she's,
And she's also 4 years younger than me. I don't need friends that much younger than me. It's not suitable.
How old are you again? You're young.
I just turned 24 in August on the 16th.
Yeah, she's basically a child.
Fuck London.
Fuck London.
Yeah.
I also think that like if May wants to like maintain a friendship with her, that's also like, it's their loss, not your loss. Like, that's kind of like, I think that's a friendship betrayal in that sense. And like, I think you're being very kind to kind of go about it in a way of like not wanting to make things weird with them. But like, that to me is like, there's one clear problem here and it's London. And that is like, that needs to be, and she should be treated as the problem, not like, I don't know. I think having separate relationships in that sense from their side is kind of like shitty, but sometimes people just are shitty.
I was a little jealous for a second because I was like, for May, it'd be so much easier for her to like cut off the friendship, because like she can essentially just like stay states and states away and like never have to see this girl again if she doesn't want to. And I was also I felt like she was more affected because she has a girlfriend that like London has met, is obsessed with, talks about all the time. So I'm like, I don't get how you're still sticking around this girl, but for me, like, once you do me wrong one time, I can be such a nice person. But if you like hurt me like intentionally, it's fuck you. Like, I don't need you around.
Yeah.
So I have too many friends in general. So some people need to fall off anyways. reevaluating.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
Yes. Got to do the quiz.
Because she's not the only friend I've cut off. I called in about another girl
Yeah.
who I have since cut off because she's a horrible person and made me cry. So,
yeah, fuck those friends. I wish I could tell you it gets better.
It doesn't. All right. Well, thank you so much.
Yeah, we appreciate it.
you updating us.
anything for you. Just turning my life into content for you guys.
And you know what? We thank you for that.
You're welcome.
And I think that's one that like a lot of people in certain areas of the country will have a lot of experiences with. And even like I said before, like I even know someone who went through this in LA, where you think of like a very progressive kind of area, that it's like homophobic people will have a way of letting you know at some point or the other. Maybe it takes laughing gas, maybe it does not. I wish I could just download those things about you. I don't love discovering those things later on.
Oof. Just be upfront. If people were truthful then and showed who they were to begin with and stop being fake, you would get a download.
Well, should we take a break before we get into the calls?
Let's do it.
Why do most of us want to learn a new language? It's probably not, especially in my case, about memorizing grammar tables or topping a leaderboard. Melissa likes to win, though.
I do like to win, but when it comes to real-world learning for languages, it's more important to put it in practice than it is to win to me.
Oh, that's deep. And hey, you know how we get there? Babbel gets us there fast.
Learning a language with Babbel is all about small steps, big wins, and progress you can actually track and feel. And I like to track and feel in the same way that I like to track and field, because I like to run.
And she's good at running.
Mm-hmm.
Now, for me, what I love about Babbel is they're bite-sized lessons. They fit easily into your daily routine, and they are also easy to, say it with me, everyone, remember. And as someone who has a hard time remembering, that makes it so much more attainable to me. And just 10 minutes a day is enough to start seeing real results.
I take what I learned from Babbel and use it in my everyday life. I've been working on strengthening my Spanish, and then also I do a lot of international work, and so I've been learning phrases so that I can communicate with my team leaders more.
I recently went on a trip to Colombia, and it reminded me, boy, oh boy, girl, you cannot be continuing to coast on your middle school and high school Spanish. And I find I'm so much more comfortable reading in Spanish and understanding, but not so much speaking. But with Babbel, it's getting me more comfortable speaking, but especially more confident.
Babbel has over 25 million subscriptions sold worldwide, and with 14 languages to choose from, every course comes with a 20-day money-back guarantee.
Here's a special limited-time deal for our listeners. Right now, get up to 55% off your Babbel subscription at babbel.com/don't blame me.
Get 55% off at babbel.com/don't blame me, spelled BABBEL.com/don't blame me.
Rules and restrictions may apply.
This episode is brought to you by Redfin. You're listening to a podcast, which means you're probably multitasking. Maybe even scrolling home listings on Redfin, saving homes without expecting to get them. But Redfin isn't just built for endless browsing. It's built to help you find and own a home. With agents who close twice as many deals, when you find the one, you've got a real shot at getting it. Get started at redfin.com. Own the dream.
You know you need fiber for a healthy gut, but do you actually know how to get it? Quaker's been serving up fiber since 1877, with over 100 great-tasting, good source of fiber options to choose from. Whether you like old-fashioned oats, instant oatmeal, granola, or oatmeal squares, Quaker makes it delicious. So good. Get your fiber with Quaker. Shop Quaker's good source of fiber products at a store near you.
And we're back, and it is time to get into the calls.
/ write-ins, because the first one is a write-in. Love the podcast. Longtime listener, first-time advice seeker. I am 24 and I use she, her pronouns. I need some advice on if finishing my degree is worth it. I've been in college for 6 years trying to complete my bachelor's degree in business. I've gotten good grades since I started college up until 2021. I've been stuck trying to finish the last course I have left to graduate. I took the class twice already and failed both times. I'm burned out and I've had a difficult time trying to focus. My time in college has not been ideal and has greatly affected my mental health. I feel so lost and I'm not sure what to do. I switched my major many times, so it's taking me longer to complete my degree. But I've reached the point when I'm ready to be done with school. But there's the other part of me that feels dumb that I haven't finished the last class. I don't want to feel like I wasted my time all these years. This was the first time I failed a class before and my parents didn't react well, which has made me feel like a burden to them for not completing my degree yet. I took the spring semester off and I was happy that I didn't have to worry about school. I'm retaking the course this fall and I'm already late on a few assignments, which is starting to overwhelm me again. I'm working at a hospital and my current job is not related to my degree. But if I ever wanted to progress with this job, it could help me in the future. Thank you so much. And I look forward to hearing what you guys have to say.
I need the college grad to take this first.
Here's the thing. If it was something where you're like having a degree in the area that I want to work in or I am working in won't matter, then I would say, don't finish. If it's causing you almost all this stress and anxiety and having a toll on your mental health, I'd be like, what's the point? It's just a piece of paper at this point. But for you, it's not just a piece of paper because you said that you want to progress in this job or in another job in the field. And I have several questions for you as far as what you're doing to take the class. So you said that you failed it twice. Are you taking the class in person or online? Do you go talk to your professor about the difficulties that you're having? Do you have a tutor for the class? Are you talking to your advisor and telling your advisor that, I've taken this class twice. I don't understand what I'm doing. It's causing me a lot of anxiety. Because sometimes if you talk to the advisor, they can help you out in a type of way that will help you get the degree, or they can point you in the direction of another class that will be equivalent to what this class is and will count toward that credit, especially if this is the absolute last class that you have to take and it shows that you were making like good grades to begin with. Do you have people in the class that you're studying with? What type of test is it? And if it's the testing that's happening in the class, like, is it multiple choice? Is it written out? Is that the optimal way that you take tests? And if it's not, can you talk to your advisor or the instructor about, like, I've taken this class twice. I don't understand what I'm doing wrong. It's causing me a lot of stress. I need some help. Like, are you asking for help in every way that you can? Because in college, they want you to graduate and they will give you the resources that you need, but you may not know what resources are available to you. And so I would ask anyone there, instructor, other students, your advisor, the department head, go talk to the department head and see what it is that they can do to help you. So that's my advice.
Cool. That answered a couple of my questions because that's how I was able to, it prevented me from getting into two schools I was waitlisted on, but it is how I was able to graduate high school was because like my high school advisor is able to find an equivalent to a science class that like I just could not get. Mm-hmm. And I would ask yourself, like, is part of the reason why you are behind on these assignments already and like you're behind on stuff, is it because you have a full-time, like, or at least a part-time job? Like, is it a time thing? And is that a necessary aspect of it? Because if it is, and you're like, I just don't have the brain power, it's something that's already hard for me. And then like, I don't even have the time to kind of do all that stuff because I have a full-time job. And it's like, I'm not going to quit my full-time, or I'm not going to quit my part-time or full-time job that is in the, like, what I want to do. I don't want to quit that because then I'm like starting from zero and it's already really hard to get a job there. Then I would really advise, like, this could be a teacher issue. Like, have you talked about like switching to a different teacher to do that course? Is there a community college class that is an equivalent of that? Specifically, is there a class over the summer that is that? Like, because there are, like, for somebody who like had a hard time academically, I had to do I don't know if I ever did like official summer school, but I did like knowing there were certain classes that would be really hard. You could take a community college class during the summer that would, at least in high school, that was like equivalent to a high school course, because it was like people were jamming those things in the summer, that you could have something that might be formatted slightly different than it would during the academic school year.
I will say for an upper level class, when it's probably the one that she needs to graduate, it's probably the one that they need to graduate. It probably isn't offered at a community college level, but it may be offered in the summertime. And summertime classes, because it's a shorter amount of time, it can be better for, like, for example, I took my organic chem classes in the summer because I knew that it's notoriously hard class. 2, an instructor that I knew was teaching it. And 3, because the classes were shorter, the labs were also shorter. And so I could just like plow through it, and like my attention span, because class, instead of it being like a Monday, Wednesday, Friday class, it was every day of the week. And so I could focus on it better. Yeah. So yeah, I really think like go talk to the people in charge, and they will have tips for you because they want you to graduate. It's not like some place where they're just trying to milk you for money and want you to keep failing classes. They want you to get out of there.
Yeah, it helps their statistics for like they want a lower amount of years for graduation rates. And I would just reiterate what Melissa said, like I strongly advise that like you get this degree, because it is hard right now, but this is the easiest time for you to complete the degree. It will only get harder, specifically because this is a class you're having a hard time with. That like the more time and space you take away from this, the harder it's going to be to hop back into it. So like, I think right now, utilizing all of the resources that you have, I don't think you will ever regret finishing it.
Yes. And then also I'll add on to something I just thought of. Because you're in your 6th year, you're now considered a non-traditional student, or whatever the term is that you have at your school. And non-traditional students also have more, at least at my school, there's additional resources. And I feel like this would be everywhere, where they offer tutoring that would be free. They also, if you're just trying to finish this one class, there might be scholarships that are available to you as a non-trad student. And then also they will help you find jobs too, if you don't want to be in this job anymore. I actually, at my school, I was working in the non-traditional, because they paid the most on campus. It was the highest paid campus job. And there are students just like you. And we had a whole bunch of resources for them. Yeah.
I think that like where there's a will, there's a way. And something I like think about is like, there are people who graduate colleges, specifically athletes. There is a whole system of like ways to get college athletes who are spending all of their time doing their sport and not so much time doing academics, like depending on the sport, that it's like they want everyone to succeed. They've already set up these avenues for people to graduate and succeed that aren't necessarily acing all of your classes and passing all of your classes in the most traditional sense. Like they know everybody has different capabilities, and it can be hard when you're not an athlete to think like, oh, well, that's what they bring to the table. That's why they can have these different treatments and have these different things that like help them succeed. But at the end of the day, like these schools are institutions. They want lower year graduation rates. They want you to succeed because they want you to donate money to them afterwards. And so just know that they are looking out for you. And I think we should all have the confidence of a college athlete, because they are making money off of all of us.
All right, next one.
Hi, Meghan and Melisa. I'm going to jump straight in. I'm 30 years old, and I have been in a relationship for 7 years with my boyfriend, who is 33 years old. I guess because I turned 30 recently, I've been thinking a lot about my future and kind of started panicking a bit about goals that I want to achieve. The conversation about marriage came up. I brought it up because my boyfriend never seems to do so. We have already discussed that he is more focused on his career and feels like he needs to still figure out what he wants to do, how he can achieve his goals, and not so much spending any thoughts about our future together. I know he loves me, and I love him very, very much. We are a great team, and I love life with him. This is the reason why it irritates me so much when I hear him say that he doesn't feel the need to think about our future together because he is happy the way it is. So he is more focused on the parts of his life that, according to him, still need improvements. I know that I'm much more of a family person than he is, and I do like the idea of celebrating our love in a traditional way, making it official, being husband and wife. And even though we are both not ready to have kids right now, I also do see us having that at some point. He said that he has negative feelings about marriage, maybe because of his parents' divorce, and that he doesn't necessarily want that ever. We had a long and emotional talk and decided to give couples therapy a shot. We don't really have communication issues, but I don't know, maybe a therapist can put things better in perspective for us. I really feel my heart aching when I think about losing him. I really can't imagine life without him, but also I'm very scared and not sure if I can give up my wish of marrying someone, because currently I'm at the point of feeling frustrated whenever I see couples getting engaged. I would love to hear your thoughts on this. Thank you.
First of all, I'm so sorry that takes a toll on you, because I think specifically, like, I really don't like how he's like phrased this and like has kind of like defended his point, because a relationship, to work on a relationship and to think like, oh, this isn't something that I like need to work on, like things always get better. It's not that there has to be like a problem there, but like I don't want to be stagnant. Like I don't want like to never grow. Like I like the fact that when you're with someone when you choose to be with someone for the rest of your life, like you're making that active choice to like love them more every day. Like you're always wanting to be better and to like be happier and to do all of that. And that doesn't mean that you're unhappy or things aren't good, but to kind of just like write it off that like you're a box that's been checked that you don't have to think about again. That's just inconsiderate to me. And like, no matter how much you love life with him, I would be really hurt by that phrasing, because to me, that would just be like, I don't consider you or think about you because I don't have to. And then it's like, so then would I actually, then do we need to be unhappy for you to put the time and effort and energy into this? It doesn't feel like a priority. And even if that's not how he meant it, like I would take like that like the phrasing of how he said this would really hurt me. I think couples therapy is a great call. I think like it's very valid for some people to not want to get married. I don't think it's cool for someone to say, I'm really focused on my career. It's not a big priority for me. But then to follow up, maybe I never want to get married. Like, that's not cool. Like, you need to have like, if you never want to get married, then you have to say you never want to get married. But the kind of stringing along thing, he might not know what he wants, but then like he needs to figure it out. And then that needs to become a priority, is figuring that out. Because I don't think it's fair for you, because you're kind of holding on to this limbo. And I'm never going to tell someone that like, because you want marriage and your partner doesn't, like you should leave because you won't be like, you honestly, like leaving and breaking up, that might be devastating to you. And like, you might be hella fucking unhappy. And like, it might be easier for you to kind of move past the notion of what you had wanted for your life was marriage, when depending on where you're located, it can be, whether it's a party or it's a piece of paper or it's something that is a like legally binding thing that affects like your taxes and affects all of those other things and like medical stuff. And so like, I think like logistics aside, if I were in your position, I would tell him, I need you to figure out if marriage is something that you are going to want ever, or if it's not something you're ever going to want. And while you take the time to figure that out, I'm also going to take the time to figure out if that's a deal breaker for me. And then we'll come back and we will talk, like, let's say like 2 weeks or something. We give each other to kind of think on this, or a week, whatever it is, not long.
How old were you when you realized you were the son of a president?
I don't think anyone's ever asked me that before.
FX's Love Story. John F. Kennedy Jr. and Carolyn Bessette.
I didn't think I could love someone like this until you.
From executive producer Ryan Murphy.
It's not a question of if I want to spend the rest of my life with you. It's if I'm cut out to be Mrs. JFK Jr.
FX's Love Story. John F. Kennedy Jr. and Carolyn Bessette. Watch now on FX, Hulu, and Hulu on Disney Plus for bundle subscribers.
This episode is brought to you by MeUndies. Underwear drawers are like the Wild West of wardrobes. You never know what pair you're going to pull out or what shape it's in. So upgrade your underwear drawer with the buttery soft comfort of MeUndies. MeUndies' signature fabric is as soft and comfy as your favorite sweater. Plus, it's breathable, making it ideal for all-day wear. Get 20% off your first order, plus free shipping at MeUndies.com/Spotify. Enter promo code Spotify. That's MeUndies.com/Spotify, code Spotify.
And we're going to come back and we're then going to talk about this in therapy. Like, this is going to be the place where we speak about it, because you're both allowed to have strong feelings about this, and it's allowed to be a deal breaker for the both of you. But you're not allowed to even process if this is a deal breaker for you, because he's not even telling you if it is a deal breaker or not. Like, it's just so wishy-washy that it's just not, that's just really not fair for me. Like, because I always think that I can get through anything, but I need to start the process. And like right now, the process hasn't even started. So whether that's like getting over mourning the life that you had thought and mourning a marriage, but you're still going to stay in the relationship, or if it's mourning this relationship and leaving this relationship to get like what you want as like the final outcome. But I do think that having like parents with like a shitty relationship, which like I understand, like, I think using that as I'm not sure if that's made you not want to get married, that's totally fine. But to kind of use this as like I don't know, maybe to me that just screams like you've not done the work. You've not unpacked your own traumas here. And so like you're kind of throwing it up in the air, hoping it's going to land where it's supposed to land. But like you actually have to put that work in there. Like if your own past and your parents' relationship is holding you back from like making a definitive decision about your future, it is not like the person who you're with who's going to change that. Like he actively has to work on that and has to change that. And I think that is a really good thing to do in therapy.
I think when you're in a relationship with someone, it shouldn't be on the back burner. Like it shouldn't be something that you're like, I just don't want to think about our relationship. So because things as they are, they're stagnant. And I don't think that this relationship needs to have any growth. And in any relationship, there should constantly be growth. People should be trying to better themselves. And I don't understand why he can't be focused on his career, but also focused on you. Why can't he multitask both of these things? Because that means that you're not a priority to him and your relationship is not a priority to him. And if it were a priority, then he would be thinking about the future. And then my question for you is, do you want to be married to him or do you just want to be married? Because you said that you see other people getting married and you never like imagine not being married. So is it him or is it you? Like, is this something that you want for your future specifically with him? Or is this something that you want just to be married? And do you feel like that he is the person that you want to spend the rest of your life with and that he is the person that you want to marry? Is he showing you characteristics of someone that you want to be committed to for the rest of your life? And if he's not showing those characteristics and does not want to develop those characteristics while he's actively in a relationship with you, then maybe this isn't the person that you're supposed to marry.
Yeah, I agree with that. Like I would ask yourself, how much of the emotional labor in this relationship are you carrying? Who brought up the idea of going to couples therapy? Who found the therapist? Like how much of this that like is the reason why he's not considering you or making you a priority because you make his life a hell of a lot easier? Like, and like he doesn't have to. And in that case, like no matter how much you love someone who views you as like someone who like makes their life easier and a lot more convenient with all of the unpaid emotional labor that you do, that is someone who, if they can't look at it and go, I want to reciprocate this and be the better, I see this person who I'm with, like growing and being a better person every day and like doing so many great things for me. If that is the instinct is not to immediately reciprocate that and to also move forward and grow as an individual, he's not going to do that. And he's not going to do that whether you're married or not. And he's especially not going to do that if you have children. He will revert the exact opposite. And you will be carrying a lot of that there. So I also think point blank, if something is important to your partner and you know that it's important to your partner, the only reason why you should be like not doing that or shutting that down is because you have strong beliefs that it goes against, that you have very clear and strong boundaries. But just kind of a wishy-washy, like, I don't know, maybe. It's like, if you don't feel that strongly about it, that means the other person feels far more strongly about it. And like, that's what we should be going with, because I care about making you happy. There's something that like, I don't give it, like something as trivial as like, let's say like, you know, people always talk about couples, one person likes pickles, one person doesn't. And it's like, this person loves pickles and you go out to eat and you get burgers and there's a pickle that comes with each. And they're like, oh, are you going to eat that pickle? Like, I love pickles. I would love to have that. And it's like, I don't know, maybe. I mean, I don't really like care that much about pickles, but like, I'll let you know. And it's like, what? Like, you know how happy this would make the other person and you know how much they care about it. Clearly, they care about it more than you do. And so therefore, like when I love someone, I want to make them happy. And knowing that this person has handed me something that would bring me so much joy and make me so happy, and I get to witness that and see that and be a part of that, sign me the fuck up. But like kind of dangling it in front of that is, I think, cruel, because you clearly don't care enough about it or have enough disdain for it to have a strong stance.
Yeah. And like when I'm in a relationship, I like to take care of my partner and I like to also be taken care of. And I understand that every day it's not going to be like a 50-50 thing. Some days it's going to be 40-60, whatever the fraction percentage is. But at the end of the day, we should both have each other's back and should be making each other better and not worse, or making the other person just sad and not. And when you get to the point where you can't give the other person something that they want and is a deal breaker for them, then that's no longer the person that you should be with.
Yeah, I wholeheartedly agree. And I would ask him why he doesn't want to get married. Because like, if the fear is, I don't want to get divorced, or I don't want, like, whatever that is, like, that needs to be unpacked, because he needs to figure out if this is related to your relationship or if it's related to the trauma of his parents' relationship. And then it's like, okay, well, you have to do that work. So even if we get married, if your constant fear is this X, Y, and Z thing happening, that doesn't disappear as soon as we get married. Like, it's, because
anybody can leave your life at any time when they don't. And I feel like you should go into marriage as if like, it should be like, if you're not happy, I don't want you here. Like, I don't think like you should go into a marriage and be like, we're just going to stick it out because we're supposed to stick it out. Like every day in any type of a marriage, any friendship, like if problems arise that neither one of us want to fix and we're not happy, then we shouldn't be here.
Yeah.
And you shouldn't go in just thinking negatively about what the relationship is and just like, I don't want to get married because I don't want to get divorced. That's bullshit.
Yeah, I think it says a lot about the person for the reason why they don't want to get married. And like, doesn't have to be a bad thing, but like people who are divorced, when they're like, oh, I don't want to get married again, I've been divorced. I'm like, understand that. You've been through a divorce. You don't want to go through that again. Or if it's something that like, you watched one parent bleed the other parent dry, it says a lot about, then it's like, okay, do you view me like that there? Like, it says a lot about not necessarily what they think about you, but like how they view relationships, how transactional they view them, and how much they've worked through their own bullshit. And like, I was definitely someone who like, I theoretically always wanted to get married, but I was like, I don't think that I will ever. Conceptually, I was like, I like the idea of being married, but I just could never see myself wanting to be with someone for like my entire, like, I did not grow up with a good representation of that, but that was like on me. Like, I couldn't fathom liking someone enough that I want to spend all that time with them and also feeling comfortable enough to spend that much time with someone. And so like, that was on me. It wasn't a belief system I held depending on the relationship that I had. Like, it was not a reflection of the relationship. That was an individual thing. And like, I went into relationships like knowing that about myself. And then when I was in the right relationship, and then when I put the work in for myself, then it was like, oh, okay, I want to do this because like you said, like, I don't, you're the only person I want to fight with. You're the only person I want to work through these issues with. Everyone else, I'm just out. Like, I'm going to dip. But like, this is the first time that like, I actually like want to work through them. I want to solve these problems. I want to move past these things. And that takes effort and work and like active participants to do that. And if he's not doing that, he's not going to. And
right.
Yeah, I would be really frustrated, especially if he like shuts down these conversations or trivializes them, because there's never going to be enough time then.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm really sorry. And I really hope that you are able to get some clarity with this.
And also, like, I know that you're in couples therapy, but are you in individual therapy as well? Because sometimes you might be in couples therapy and people are just showing who they are in couples therapy and not being their true selves. And when you go into individualized therapy, that person can just hear your side of what's happening and can give a different perspective for you.
Yeah.
All right. We're going to take another break. And when we get back, we'll get into the rest of the episode.
The world moves fast. Your workday, even faster. Pitching products, drafting reports, analyzing data. Microsoft 365 Copilot is your AI assistant for work. Built into Word, Excel, PowerPoint, and other Microsoft 365 apps you use. Helping you quickly write, analyze, create, and summarize. So you can cut through clutter and clear a path to your best work. Learn more at Microsoft.com/M365 Copilot.
We all want to know, what makes people tick?
How will they make decisions?
Handle feedback?
And work
as a team.
The Predictive Index Behavioral Assessment reveals how employees actually think, work, and thrive. Like how Marcus fits in a role with structure, and Margot's strength is collaborating with others. Because when we understand each other, work just works. Take the behavioral assessment today at try.predictiveindex.com.
And we're back, and it's time to get into the rest.
Hi, Meghan and Melissa. I need advice on how to tell my friends that I might be getting back with a guy that they don't like. So I'm 28 years old, and I've been with a guy for a few years, but only seriously for like 2. He's almost 41 years old. I lived with him at his apartment for a while, but I moved out a few months ago for space, but we still remain together. We've always had an up and down relationship, and we will argue. My friends have never liked him, and they make that quite clear to me. About 6 weeks ago, things just got a bit too much for me one night, and I ended things with him, and it did feel quite final to me. When I told my best friends, they obviously checked if I was okay, but then they celebrated. One of them stood up and was dancing around and spoke about having a breakup party. It did make me feel quite rubbish, but as time has gone on, I miss him. I have met up with him a few times, and it's been really good, but I haven't told my friends this. Now I'm stuck. I feel a bit embarrassed if I get back with him because of their initial reaction. They were clearly happy it ended, and have been so supportive of me since. I'm worried what to do if I do end up back with him. I don't want them to be mad at me. How do I approach the situation? I don't want to continue to lie to them. I'm just a bit stuck and can use some advice. Please be harsh if you need to be, but then I also might cry. I love you both and the podcast. Bye.
With love, we're going to be very harsh, my girl.
And it's not just because, like, you told us we could.
No, it's because we love you.
Yes.
We deeply love you.
You didn't give us any specific reasons as to why they don't like him.
Because the reasons are valid and you don't want us to know. Or they don't even need to tell you what the reasons are. You already know. Like, it doesn't even have to be a conversation here. Like, there's a miscommunication here. Like, there's this. It's like, you do not discredit their feelings about him because they are, you know that they're valid. And the whole, like, what should I do if I end up back with him? It's like, just don't. Like, this isn't like, you're not going to fall in his lap. This does not need to be something like this. But like, I'm just going to tell you right now, a tumultuous on again, off again, up and down relationship with a man who is
over 10 years older
than you for years, and it was only serious for 2 of those years, and you live together and then you move out and you know all of those things. This is not your person, And
No.
like this chapter closed so long ago, and that's why it's so up and down and tumultuous. Like when we keep revisiting like parts of our life that we have lived already, and like we've gotten everything out of them, that we've like got this life experience, and we keep going back to it, it doesn't move forward, it doesn't progress. Like we're going back and looking at the memories again and trying to relive it and just play house and do those things. Like there's a reason why this is doing that. It's because like you're drinking spoiled milk. Like expiration date has already fucking happened. That's the reason why. And especially like having this like shift and change in heart in 6 weeks. Like this is because you keep staying in contact, you keep talking, you go back. Like you can only miss someone when missing is a crucial stage in moving on past someone or a breakup. And if you cave and give in to the missing part, then we're starting from square one all over again.
Mm-hmm.
Like missing someone is not an indicator that you made a mistake. Like that is just the first step of grieving. You're mourning. Like you need to get past all of those steps and live a hell of a lot more life in 6 weeks to then be like, okay, we've recovered from this. We've done X, Y, and Z from all of this. And more importantly, I will say, if you are worried about what your friends think, that is a clear indicator that you should not be with this person. Like there is times where it's like, you know, you can know, and I've been there where like, you know how people feel about some, and you don't give a shit. And it's because like, I know it's good for me, and I genuinely do not care what you think. And then that is like, that's all there is to it. But if you are worried about their perception of you or him or what this means or anything like that, that is an indicator that you trust and believe them, and or you know that their grievances are real, factual, and that there has been there is nothing you could say to change their mind. There is none of that. Like all you can do is essentially prove to people by being in a much healthier and better relationship and having them see that. But they're not going to see that because that's not what's happened.
Yeah, I want to know specifics of why they don't like him, but honestly, it doesn't matter that much because there's multiple of them that don't like him. Like a lot of friends don't like him.
He's also too old, regardless if your friends didn't even like him.
Yes, they're too old, but they're also like cheering and want to throw a party that speaks volumes. And so like for you to be on and off with somebody that is 40, 41, almost 41, while you're in your 20s, this is not the part. It shouldn't be this much work and this hard where you have all this back and forth and you can't decide what you actually want. And you lived with them and then moved out. Like that's not a good sign. That's not a good sign at all, because that means that you weren't ready to spend your life with this person. And it's only been a few weeks and let's say like, you're like, no, this is the one. What work have both of y'all done to make sure that this is actually the one? Like this is the person that you're supposed to be with. No work. You haven't had enough time to do any work to better yourselves. And that it's not going to get better if y'all are fully in a committed relationship. You haven't even stopped talking during any of this time. Nothing has been fixed. It's just that, like Meghan said, you miss each other. And so you've never had that reset. So no, I'm with your friends. Y'all aren't supposed to be together. And if you're ashamed to tell your friends who you're with, then that also speaks volumes.
Yeah. And just know that like you've heard so many calls on this podcast of people who their friends are getting back with toxic relationships. And it's like, how do I support the friend? And like, at a certain point that like those friends might not be able to stay your friends at this time. Like it might be too hard for them. And it's, who do you want? And what do you want? Like moving forward, like these people who so clearly care about you so much. And like, sometimes I think that like when our picker is wrong and our friends have a gut feeling about someone, even if you wholeheartedly disagree, humor them. Don't talk to him for 6 months. See what happens. See how much better, like see all of those things. Cause you are so in the thick of it that like at that point, like you need someone else to be your eyes and your ears and your decision maker in your brain. And like, if you care about your friends and you love them, if you made like a list of all of like the things that, how the ways they have treated you and all of that, and you compare it to him, who's winning? And like that, like a relationships all are based in the same things. And then some we may or may not be adding romantic or sexual aspects to. But if he was just your friend, would you tolerate these behaviors? Like, where is this coming from? And notice that, like, if you wouldn't take this behavior from a friend, you can't take this behavior from him. And then knowing that, like, the more you accept the behavior and your friends watch you accept it and accept it and accept it, you're leading to your own destruction in the sense of you will start accepting poor behavior from other people as well. You can't keep it isolated in one aspect of your life. And like Melissa said, like moving out after having lived with someone, I think is the clearest fucking indicator that it's not going to work. Because when you live together, the whole point is you make things work because you live together. But like, if you can't, then you can't. And it's not like, okay, well then we'll just date and like never like live together. Like, this is not to be like cheesy, but like, is this a story that you envision telling people? Like that when you like, what if you like make it work and you do like, do you envision this? Like, is this a story that you want to tell? And also, do you envision these friends being at your wedding? Like, do you envision this? Like, how do you see all of this going? Because I promise you that, like, to sacrifice everything in your life, your friendships, like your future, all of that for someone, like that person better be better than any other person you've ever met. But like, he's not. To put yourself and put the other people that in your life through all of this for something that like ultimately you're just trying to hold on to something that was once good and that was once exciting. Like, let that be what it was. Because the more you tarnish this with like the furthering and trying again, those good memories are going to become fewer and fewer and fewer. And you just need the space. Like, you need the time and the fucking space away because you're not letting yourself actually get past step one.
Right. I personally do think that if somebody moves in with somebody too quick and they move out, like they realize that they like, this isn't going to work and they move out, I do think they can come back from it, but you have to figure out why things didn't work and work on yourself and then go back to it. But
like years,
6 weeks, like, yeah, it's got to be time. There's got to be some time between. I would even say like 6 months could be it, but like, depending on where you are in your maturity level and how much work you're putting into figuring things out, but like not a few weeks.
No. And if this is only serious for 2 years, you said, but it had been going on longer than that, that puts you at 26. And let's say if it's 4 years total, you're at 24 and he's in his late 30s. This man has already taken up far too much time. He's taken up too much time of your life and he does not deserve any more time here. And like, if you're going to date someone so much older than you, they need to have all of their shit sorted out. There needs to be no problems. They need to be like the most therapized, mature, favorite person your friends all love. They need to have a condo. They need to have multiple cars. They need to have a vacation home. Like, they need to have like absolutely anything and everything and have absolutely nothing wrong with them. Like, it needs to be like coasting. Like, if you're going to do that, and he's not that, and there's a reason why he's dating people younger, is because he is not up to the level of his peers. And he's not even up to the level of your peers.
Right.
And that's
fair point.
That's a fucking flag. That's not even a red. That's just like, you're seeing red everywhere you go. There's not even an outline of a flag. It's just everything is fucking red. So you deserve so much better than this. And even if you can't see it, your friends can. So like, you can like ride in the passenger seat of your life for a while. Like, let them, and you can tell them like, hey, I really need to lean on you. Like, I'm mortified that like, I went back to him. We've been texting and like, I'm hella fucking embarrassed. And like, I shouldn't do this.
I never left him.
Yeah. It's like, I know I shouldn't do this, but I really want to. And like, I need you all to hold me accountable. I need you to like nonstop talk about how awful he is. I need you to prompt me to talk about how awful he is. I need you to like delete his number in my phone. Like, lean on your friends as like, I would do that for if my friend needed that, I would be fucking there in a heartbeat. Cause like, everyone knows what it's like to go back to someone who's not, or like to, whether it's go back to someone or pine for someone who is like so bad for you. Like, you need your village and you need your arm, you need your support system. And so like, let them support you.
Yeah. All right. Give us an update, please. Even if it's not something you want to share on the podcast.
Yeah.
All right, next one.
Hi, Megan and Melissa. I am 22 and use she, her pronouns. I'm writing to you for advice regarding unrequited feelings for someone very important in your life. I'm a senior in college and have been friends with Justin, 22, he, him, for 4 years now. He and I are from similar places, over a 14-hour drive from our college. We have a great deal in common, so we became fast friends. When we first met, he was in a long-term relationship with his high school sweetheart, and I was in a relationship with someone from college. Over the course of our friendship, both of us went through rough patches, bringing us closer together, and I would say we both consider each other our best friends. Recently, we are participating in a project together where we had to work very closely. I can provide a little context for you and Melissa, but I don't want to be too specific. This project had some pretty heavy subject matter that hit home for both of us and made me realize two things. One, I needed to step back from this topic, and two, that I had been suppressing feelings that I have for him. In the past, I've had a hard time differentiating between strong feelings of friendship and when I like or love someone. I know for a fact he does not feel the same way about me as he tells me who he does like. I do not want to tell him how I feel, as I know it will hurt our friendship, and I don't want to lose a great friend. If you have any recommendations on how to help yourself move on from feelings that are not reciprocated, I would appreciate that. I mean, okay, so I don't want to give like false hope, but like some people say they like someone and they like don't know. You know what I mean? Like it could be not an option. Yep. And like I have done that before. Like I've so done that with people, especially because I'm someone who chronically dates friends. I don't know anyone who has dated a friend where you haven't been like you tell them who your crushes are and all of that kind of like it just happens.
You can have crushes on multiple people, but there could be somebody that you actually like, and you also don't think that they reciprocate your feelings, so you talk about the other crushes to throw them off. So yeah, he could like you, but I don't want to give you false hope. But I do think that I think you need to, I think you should tell him. And here's why.
I think so too.
Because you're going to continue to create this you're going to continue to create this narrative in your head of what you think the relationship could be and why it could be good. And if you're going to remain friends with him, that's never going to go away, because you're always going to have this imagination of how good the relationship will be. But that's just your imagination. And your imagination is always going to be better than reality, because you don't have two people that are, somebody left a wet towel on the floor and you can't fight about that. You're imagining what you want this relationship to be, and it's going to be the best possible scenario in your head. So are y'all going to remain friends? Because senior year, y'all could never talk to each other anymore. So are you going to remain friends outside of college? Are you going to be still living in the same area? Are y'all going to hang out all the time? Are y'all still going to be doing you gave us context, and I don't want to say what it is, but are y'all still going to be in that same type of group setting where this type of thing could come up? Because you're playing make-believe in your head. If y'all are still going to be friends and you want to be his friend, I think you need to tell him, or else you're just going to keep creating these false narratives. If you get to the point where you're like, oh, we're not going to be in the same place, you may not be friends anymore, but you still might think of him as the one that got away. And so you're still going to be creating an imagination, and that may not be healthy for future relationships that you try to get into, because you still might be thinking of him. So actually, in any situation, I think you tell, now that I've talked it out amongst myself, I think you should tell him.
I agree. The friendship will be ruined either way, because you will have to take it, because he's your best friend. Like this is a difference between having a crush on a friend versus like someone who you're really close with, because the only thing that has shifted is now you're attracted to him, essentially, or like assumingly that. So you've already gotten to getting to know him. Like you've gotten the emotional aspect, which I think is harder. So you can't just shut it off. If he was a crush and this was a friend, the advice to get over a crush is to distance yourself. You can't distance yourself from him without that affecting your friendship. So no matter what, this will affect your friendship. And so the best way to do this is to be honest. And, I will say after that, the advice I would give you, if you're saying he doesn't reciprocate those feelings, let's operate under that assumption. You tell him, I would say you phrase it in a sense of hey, I just want to let you know that I need to take a step back from our friendship for a bit. After we did that thing together, it made me realize that I have developed like romantic feelings for you, and I value our friendship so much. I know you have feelings for this other person, and I need, in order to, like, I thought about it and like I wondered if I could just like stay with our relationship with where it's at, but like I do think I need to have like a little bit of space to kind of get over this. And I just wanted to like let you know that, and that I really care about you, but like I really, yeah, so that just as a heads up, say that you don't you know, putting that on you, not in a sense of like, how do you feel about me? Like, just count, he can offer that up if he wants to. And then from there, for you, when you're taking that space, think of things about him that would give you the ick. Like, think about things that are like literally look up things that give you the ick and just picture him doing those things. And like, think of like the things that you want in someone. Like, don't watch rom-coms. Don't watch all of those things where you can like Melissa said, you'll have this fantasy and this idea of him. Don't do anything where you can kind of slot him into these different roles. Like, anytime you think about him, like, redirect in the sense of like, think about him doing something like, ooh, that would give me the ick, or like, ooh, that would like, ooh, not the vibe. And throw yourself into other things there and other friendships that you can like work on at that time, and know that you can go back to that friendship. But like Melissa said, like, you're young, you don't know where your like lives are going to take you after school. And I will also say, again, we're not saying what the context was. That experience can give you goggles. So you might have, this person else might be very good at it. And so like, you might have had these goggles on that like, when you actually take this step away from the friendship for a little bit, you might realize like, oh shit, that's like so not what that was. Like, that was, I was in a circumstance, in a situation, and I was caught up in it. And that's not how I feel about like the real life you and the real life me. So but you do need space for that. And that space cannot be fantasizing. That space has to be like constructive and redirection. And these are all of the things that I don't like about you in a romantic way.
Yep. And I'm going to give you 2 examples of both possibilities of this. I had a friend in college, and he used to talk shit about this girl all the time. Like, all the time. And I was like, why are you so concerned with her? She had the same name as me too. I was like, why are you so concerned with her? He was in love with her, and he was trying to fight the feelings, and they are happily married now with multiple children. Like, it was just like, he wasn't being truthful for what he was feeling. He finally told her, and they were good. Then a specific situation with me, I had a friend that we were very close. One of these friends, like, we would drink together, like in our friend group. And like, whenever people drink together, we all got a little flirty and touchy. For some reason, I was straddling him, and and he was like, why haven't we hooked up? And I was like, I don't think of you in that way at all.
Despite the current situation.
Yeah. I was just like, we're having fun, you know, we're just hanging out. And then like, now we are still very close friends, but he is truly like my brother, and he calls me his sister, and he is married to another one of our friends was in our friend group. Like, and they have beautiful children, and they are a great couple. So like, there's different, you know, scenarios here, and it can turn out one of 2 ways. If he's your actual friend, you're still going to remain being friends.
Yeah. And like, you could date, and then you also could break up, and like, things could go well, and then they don't go well for a bit after there. But I think holding on to a relationship to where it's at that current point only works if both of you are at that current point. You're not at that current point anymore. And so like, there is no holding on to what it was. So what can we do moving forward?
Yeah.
Well, best of luck. Let us know how it goes. And yeah, I would also say, I don't know how recently you've done this thing together, but I would at least give it 3 weeks before you even say that you have feelings, because like, those might completely go away.
Yeah. All right. Well, that's the end of the episode.
Wow, amazing, wonderful. We hope you all enjoyed. If you did, please leave us a review. You can go to Apple Podcasts and leave a review for the podcast. You can also use Spotify to leave a review for specific episodes. And as always, or maybe this is your first time listening and you did not know, we have a whole multiverse of other podcasts. Once you subscribe to this feed, you will get all of them. So tomorrow we have See You Next Tuesday. We skip Wednesday, so you can
Actually, this Wednesday you might get the episode early because it's Thanksgiving week, and
Oh yeah.
So you might get.
Don't hold her to it, though, everyone.
Don't hold me to it, but
No.
you might get. But am I wrong on Wednesday and no episode on Thursday? We'll see.
Then we have Thursday, or maybe this week Wednesday. We have But Am I Wrong, which is where we ethically shit talk, as well as Fisting Friday, where we read the results of the episode prior of But Am I Wrong. But we also, sometimes chitty and chat. And it's a wonderful, amazing, fantastic time. And what a wonderful slate of content for you if you are spending time over the holidays with people who you dislike. Throw a little AirPod in there, put your hair down. No one will know the wiser. We'll just be right in there. Yeah, hang out with us. We'll chill with you. And we also have a Patreon where you can listen to the episodes ad-free, and you can also join for our live streams that we have twice a month and video versions of all the podcasts. So you can see the facial expressions, and we've got some more fun things coming for you over there. Check it out.
So that's it for today.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Don't Blame Me is a production by me, Megan Rinks.
And me, Melissa D. Montz, plus Diamond Imprint Productions.
Post-production sound and editing by Coco Lorenz.
Production assistance by Melanie D. Watson.
And music by Giacomo Picasso and Ryan Hunter.